Hello and welcome to Geek at Play Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial we will create terrain and apply some materials, and we'll try to do from beginning to end step. We'll try to implement all these new features we learn in this series of tutorial. So let's create Fractal Terrain. Okay, as well I'll just zoom out, increase in size. Let's make it even bigger. Next, what I'm going to do is edit. So we'll go ahead inside the object edit. Right here, we start working on our fractal. So we'll go edit function. In a function, I want to go ahead and switch this to the terrain fractal. Couple things I want to change. One, I want to change the wavelength. And what has happened, it will allow us to modify how our terrain will look. So let's switch, make smaller, and I want to put it 0.2 on all. You notice right here, we already start having more defined details. Okay, next, let's change our meta scale. And I want to put it meta scale maybe around 20, maybe 21, see how this will come. And largest features we'll leave as 10. We'll maybe slightly increase roughness on more details. We'll leave it gain as it is. The smoothness areas we same, leave it as default, but we will modify a little bit on the distortion to provide us with more character in our terrain. And maybe just decrease on the mountains and increase regions to bottom. So let's preview. Right here we have it already very nice kind of mountains. Let's remove our zero edges so we can preview what we have it. Okay, now to modify, I want to add turbulence to our origin. So we go switch this turbulence, and inside the turbulence, let's decrease the largest features. We'll look from top. Okay, we increase maybe our amplitude higher, as well the scaling. Here we have a very nice twisted already come in our material. Okay, next we're going to apply filter to manipulate with what to our signal, just a little bit readjusting on the heights and lows. Okay, and I'm going ahead, edit, and I will just add a few points right here to make our line going just slightly smoother this way, maybe. In that case, we kind of have it on a lower value. We have it much smoother. We're decreasing height on them, and we'll right here start kind of more accelerating to the peaks. Let's give it us a little bit sharper, the peaks on the top and the end. Let's click OK. Right here, you notice we decrease, and we still have it our a little bit high on the peaks. A couple things maybe I want to slightly decreasing so they won't be that tall. Let's click OK, and maybe just a little bit work right on the largest features. Okay, I think this will be a nice base for our terrain. Let's click OK. Couple things that I recommend you to do when again you're creating your terrain. You can always save this terrain as a default, and to do this you just need to go click on a save button, and let's save as terrain fractal. So we'll save as this. Okay, and let's click OK. By saving terrain, it's help you next time when you create brand new. You can always go to your fractal, right click, and go to open, browse the files. We'll select terrain that you just created. So it's not a function, it's actually as a terrain itself. Click open, and right here you have your terrain that you just created. You can save all your terrains, you can share your terrains with your friends if you create something nice, or as well you can just start making maybe some profit and sell those terrains that look nice on a cornucopia to other users. Let's go set our camera, and you can see we have it beautiful terrain created, very real, with nice adjustments. We have it very smooth areas, and the same we have it very rigid mountains and very beautiful layout on the rocks. But this is create, it's only one step. Next step, let's work on the materials for our terrain. So you can do a couple ways you can create this. One, let's go ahead and edit our object. And right here you have an option of effects, but before we apply, remember we can paint with multiple different materials. So we'll go to effect, even on this one, and let's click on dissolve few times. You notice our rigid mountain start dissolving, and we applying now this effect. So if we preview, you can see right here the sharpness is gone. Instead, on top we have a material where we can apply. Here's a couple interesting effects you can also do it. So when you apply it, if you click to undo, so we undo the dissolving, but material is still applying there. So you can see the top mountains that still be rigid, but we actually painting materials on those areas that it could dissolve. And in this case, you can actually applying second material, and we can reuse this without even changing terrain or shape. You can apply the material to this rigid top that normal will dissolve, go undo, and your map still save it. So if we open our material, you can notice right here we still have our image created by us for us. So and this is an interesting way to do it. In that case, when we start working with our new material, we can utilize that. So let's go ahead and create maybe brown. So we open. Next, I want to go inside function editor, and I just want to apply distribution of the colors. So it won't be just plain same color, it will take all this. Couple things you can do, you can just slightly increase, so higher contrast. It's mean values will go from both end. Let's click OK. Highlights, in this case I want them dual, just maybe a little bit this way. Okay, the bumps, let's modify that, and I want just connect to our painting, so we will kind of start matching in this case. Let's click OK on this. As well, I want to decrease them so they don't overtake the outer terrain. And preview, you can notice right here we start applying those materials just in right regions on top. We'll keep it this way as a mixed materials. This is other material that applying around. Again, this is not layers, this is mixed materials. So and this one, let's modify it. We go open, and we'll maybe select something dry grassy. Okay, as well, we'll go to edit function. On this one, let's use it noise just to be different. Use a noise, I want to decrease all the way so we have it smaller fine pixels right here. And as well, we'll take our bump map connected. Let's click OK, and we'll dump our bump there all the way, maybe to 50 even. So just very subtle bumps. Let's preview. You can see right here with the bumps, we actually doesn't look very good. So let's rework on that one again. So let's try to switch maybe to something that will match our colors, like brown, yellow. Okay, we'll just modify our map. As well, we probably want to rework a little bit on this function, so it won't be that powerful. And one way to do this is always you can go ahead and take origins and connect to your This will be a little bit mixing on this case. Okay, let's click OK. Again, I'm just try fine, but I think this is still be a little bit bigger points, so we need to reduce the resolution on those, but it's already much better matching colors. Okay, we'll go to Object Standard. Here you can see it's add nice distribution. Okay, next what we're going to do with this, we start working adding layers. Next layer I want to add, it's a sand. But with a sand, what I want to do, I want to actually work with environment. And we did before similar, but what I want to do is be sure it's located just on the flats, like right here, where the sand may be collected. So let's steep, just have a nice smooth edge. As well, I want to remove this from total top of the peaks. So if it's displaying, it will displaying somewhere more close to the bottom. We can go ahead and enable our coloring so we can see where the distribution will lay it in our terrain. Let's readjust this way a little bit. As well, maybe on a height. Okay, so about right here. And you can see we have those rocks coming, but we still have this nice sand laying on the sides. So our terrain become look more real in this case. Okay, couple details we can also adjust if you want to the side. And again, this is where you can add more and more and more different layers. The next what I want to do actually, it is apply ecosystem. And as ecosystem, we can have several options. We can add rocks to specific areas, like maybe few of them down on the bottom. So let's create, we'll add some of them on the bottom and we'll see where they appear. So maybe it's a little bit too many rocks. I want them be on the bottom right there, so I don't want them on the top, and I want them set a little bit more deeper in. So let's go ahead in our density, and I'll just drop them more below surface on this point. As well, let's decrease a little bit our scaling, and we'll go in an environment and let's preview. So again, here's where they lay out in our environment. I want them drop even more lower. Just maybe around those areas. Okay, and also decreasing density. Let's populate sometimes. Depend on your terrain, if it's take a lot of memory, use dynamic population. That system will populate only in areas where is your camera seeing. But if you do animations and your camera may move around, I do strongly recommend to use it. Don't use a dynamic population because it does not design for the some animations. Your rocks maybe appear, disappear. You have this hopping type of the ecosystem. So dynamic population won't really work very well with that. Okay, so let's uncheck. And if we preview, you can see we have the rocks. Because we decrease scale, they're quite a bit small, but they lay down right in those areas. Again, other things, you don't necessarily need just use the rocks if you don't like it. We can just go ahead and add some plants. Alder. So let's go ahead right here. The couple things you need to notice when you're adding new ecosystem, sometimes your scale under will decrease or is set to standard, as well as here up is increasing by 10. So just be sure all your scales is still be whatever you set as original. So we have it scaled to 1. Let's populate right here. Okay, you notice, so let me go back to this image. You notice we have it right populations, approximately we want it. Okay, maybe a couple of things I want to adjust. So we'll set density a bit lower, and pop up scalability up. Let's preview one more time. So again, we have it plants is in those areas. You can increase a little bit more on the quality. So on that case, it will be tied up more to these areas where distribution was located. As well, working with influence that may help of interaction with mixed materials, other ones. So let's preview. Okay, now you can see it's more tied up around here, about this area. Okay, let's pop up slightly more on our density. And other things what I want to do, it's maybe work a little bit on scalable. So let's go ahead when it's finished. Okay, we go to scalability and I want enable variable as well as shrink. And we go ahead and we'll edit this function. We'll just modify set default this way. Okay, let's click populate one more time, so it will change our scalability for our plants. Okay, we have a large amount of plants now there. So let's preview. And I like this one a little bit better because we have it smaller and some kind of different right now in height of our plants. Okay, next, let's work on an atmosphere of our terrain. If you want it, you always can go ahead and save your material for future use if you want it. But let's click OK at this point. Okay. And we'll just zoom out a little bit. You can see from the top, very nice where we have a terrain population with our plants. Even we don't see, but next time if we animate it and move our camera, they will come up very nicely in those areas. Okay, let's take our sun at this point, and we'll try to find the best position for our sun so we have it kind of nice covering with shadows and effects. Okay, this way. Let me check how we look right at this point. Okay, maybe, you know what, maybe I want actually another so we have it right from those mountains, a little bit better shadow coming. In this case, we have it again by readjusting. We try to find the best character for this composition that we just created. I think we kind of will keep this one right now. So next we'll start work on atmosphere. So let's go ahead, open atmosphere editor, and I want set as global illumination for this. Give it slightly more on the sun and change our ambient light to darker and less saturated. Next we'll go and edit few clouds. So here is in a way you like to add. Okay, let's preview slightly outside. So if you click, you can see here's our cloud layer. As well, let's click on a camera, and one thing I want to verify, I want to see, okay, where's my camera? Right here. My camera is 37 meters up on a wide. So if I want to add fog, I'll create here, and I'll go ahead, set my altitude maybe 0 and height about 30 meters. So right here, I just created a little bit a line of the fog. And we can want pop up that maybe 240. Let me see, but it will cover our camera. Let me see how we come. But it's give it slightly fog inner. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop up a little bit more on the cover. Let's increase maybe to 45. Let's see if it's given us a little bit better coverage. I'm going to increase detail amount, sharpness. Okay. Okay, next what we're going to do is modify a little bit our sky settings. So one thing what I want is increase aerial perspective. That is give us nice haze touch here. And pop up a little bit on haze and fog. That will give us good perception in our distance by losing some details on the backgrounds. Okay, at the same time, you know what? Let's modify how we view. We'll go to user define and we'll just increase our panoramic view. Okay. So we will view more of our mountains. And in some cases, landscape, of course, it's much better preview when you do wide format. Let's bring more dramatic, better look into the Okay, couple of things actually I noticed in right here. If we go back to our material editor on our default sand right here, let's change this overall color and bring a little bit more towards greenish color. So kind of maybe semi-grassy look. So it will help us keep it more in a dry grass around. Just right here. So it will have a little bit better touch with those colors. Okay, let's go on the sun and increasing softness. In that case, our shadows will have softer edges. So we'll look more in perspective of the distance. Okay, next things what I want to do, I want to add a variation to our plants by the colors. So we'll go ahead and tab where we can see our ecosystem materials. Let's click on the leaves. We'll right click and we go to edit function. Right here, we add blender, we add color map, connect them together, and we'll add also just noise and connect this to the noise. On that case, we can mix it. The colors, we go to preloaded and we'll just select maybe darker color like this. And we'll blend them with our original color. So you can see we start mixing, and that will mixing our colors as well around our terrain. So let's click OK. And we have one more set of leaves. Let's modify that one as well, same way. So we'll go ahead, highlight our connector, insert the blender, insert the color map, connect together, and connect this to the noise. And I want this noise just be a little bit different, so I will just adjust. And same right here, you know, let's switch to dry grass color. So we'll have a different, modify. Okay. Click OK. So let's see what we have right now. By doing those adjustments, okay, so right here you can see how by applying those, we already have a very nice coloring apply it to our trees more natural look. Right here a little bit, maybe rework on the clouds, because this is our atmosphere and that is a little bit lower level. So maybe on this one I want to increase even more. So let me compare and add a little bit more feathering to that. Let's see. So we do add more, but we start losing in details on the lighting with this. Maybe let's disable that one for now and just see what we have it without. I think actually without it will work better. Except I want to increase on this case the fog density and bring it a little bit lower. As well, a little bit more on a glowing side. Okay, again, this is small adjustment tweaking, and it takes sometimes time for you just to find the right settings. Let's click OK. Let's go switch this to the final preview. And we render with the final. We have a little bit better calculation on ambient light, and we'll see how some lights will start popping up. Okay, and right here you can see our image, in which we was trying to use all techniques or most of them that we learn in this series of tutorials. So we have a very nice rigid mountains with nice distribution, soft and smooth place with ecosystem is applied, as well with some haze and lighting. Okay, thank you for watching these tutorials from Geek at Play Studio. Please remember, visit us on our web is www.geekatplay.com.